Hello. So today I'm going to show you wiring of the AstroPixels and a Maestro 24, a mini Maestro 24 to my DroidLink slave. I have everything already installed and wired, so I'm just going to basically point out to you how I did things. So a couple things to know. First, about my dome, I bring 12 volts up into my dome through pogo pins. I bring that 12 volts to a splitter right here. This splitter splits it out so that I can run 12 volts to my slave and 12 volts into my buck. This buck reduces to 5 volt and comes out to another splitter here so that I can power my Maestro and my AstroPixels over here. For the DroidLink slave, I'm using a barrel connector. For the Maestro, I'm using the green screw-down terminals. Same thing with the AstroPixels, I'm using the green screw-down terminals. Now, as far as wiring the DroidLink slave to the AstroPixels and the Maestro. So the DroidLink slave does have two designated serial outputs. Serial 1, which is pins 25, and serial 2, which is pins 17 or GPIO 17. And so let me show you how I did this. Because I am powering the Maestro with the green power plugs here, or lugs there, and because I'm also doing the AstroPixels, getting their own power with the green lugs, I don't want power going from my slave on either of these two sets of pins. So as you can see, this 3-wire connector here, I cut the VCC cable. So I'm only running signal and ground to each of these boards. So basically what I do for the AstroPixels is they are connected to pin 25 there, GPIO 25 on the slave, because that is serial 1. And I take that over here to the AstroPixel board, and let me try and fix this so you can see that better. And then on the AstroPixel board, you have the serial 2 here. And so I have the black, which is ground, connected, and the R for receive on serial port 2 is my signal from the DroidLink slave. So, like I said, the 2 wires, they come back here, and they are connected to 25 on the DroidLink slave. The Maestro is done similarly. Again, because I'm using the power in on these lugs, and I have the jumper installed, I want to only bring across the signal and ground. So I have obviously the black ground and the white signal. They are connected, and it's hard to see with this installed, to pin 17 on the breakout board, and then I run them over to the input here on the Maestro. Now I have a Maestro 24, and I have ground, there's a VCC here, and then I have the signal in. And let me look and tell you what those exact pins are named. Okay, so the pins I'm connected to are GND, the VCC is not connected, or VIN is not connected, I mean, and then I'm connected to RX on the Maestro. Again, this is a 24, and because I'm bringing power in here, and I've clipped that middle wire, I do have this jumper enabled on mine. That way I have enough power, everything is being powered for servos here, and we're pretty much signals. So, yeah, this set of pins, ground, VIN, and RX are basically the same order on every, or at least on a Maestro 12 and a 24, so I'd assume it's the same on the 18. They're in that same order of ground, VIN, and RX. And again, those are the 3 pins that you're going to use. And hopefully, if my video stayed, this is the orientation it is in my dome that I showed you. So again, back here on the dome, you can see the black is on the ground, the VIN is the red wire clipped, and then the RX or receive is the signal from the Droid Link slave. So the next part is to configure my Droid Link slave for these boards. So I'll show you that in just a second here. Okay, I jumped over to my computer now, so sorry for the audio quality difference. Let me go ahead and connect. I did put my Droid Link slave into config mode by using the Droid Link display, and then underneath settings, I hit slave ID number 3 because that is my slave in the dome is 3. I have 2 in the number 2. Slave number 2 is in the body, and slave number 3 is in my dome. So once that connects up, all right, so here's my slave node 3, obviously the master MAC address that we talked about before. Serial 1, output A, serial 1, is set as AstroPixels. So as I mentioned before, I have serial 1, which is TX25 or GPIO 25, pin 25 on the slave board. That's connected. And the baud rate configuration for serial 1, 9600, is fine. We're not doing an output B for this, so we just leave that. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Output A, serial 1, is the AstroPixels and its baud rate. Output B, I'm telling it dome, because it's a dome. And then I'm choosing the type as Maestro Mini, because it is a Mini 24. If you had a 6, it would be a Maestro Micro 6. Or if you had a 12, 18, or 24, it's Maestro Mini, and the baud rate is 9600 baud. So yeah, so this is where I tell the slave that output serial number 1 is the AstroPixels connected to it and its baud rate, and output B, serial number 2, is a Maestro Mini and 9600 baud. Save that, and that's all I need. So I do have this filled in. By the way, I filled this in when I did the setups and everything, only because it's already there if I find out that there's an OTA available. So basically, I don't have to, when I come in here, if Fred says, hey, there's a new update available for the slave boards, all I have to do is go into the configuration, toggle this, and then save and reboot, and it'll pull down the update over the air. I don't have to type in my SSID and password. You don't have to have it in here if there's no OTA coming down. So just an FYI. So then save and reboot. When you do click save and reboot, obviously the slave board in there will restart, connect up to the master, and you should be ready to go. From there, it's a matter of sending commands to the AstroPixel or the Maestro Mini, and I guess I'll be creating a video on how to do that soon. So yeah, so that's good for this time. Now you know how to connect it all up, and then we can start showing you how to send commands in a future episode. Thanks.